Thousands of men died during the Civil War. Women and children grieved. The Civil War had started. As brothers, sons, fathers, and husbands went off to war, women were left at home with the children. Female slaves and women now occupied a plantation that once had slaves, men, and women working on it. The wife of the master now had all the responsibility. Taking care of the children, making sure the slaves didn't run away was not an easy job. No one was there to help them. They had to figure it out themselves. When the war started, women felt pride and fear. They were afraid of how the war will turn out and scared for the life of their loved ones. Women wondered how they were supposed to manage everything on their own. As women were struggling to run the farms alone, troops sent requests for food, clothing, and general supplies. Now farms and plantations had to work extra hard so that the troops got what they requested and the people on the farms got enough food themselves. Resources were starting to become scarce. Men used to work in the factories and mills that manufactured different supplies like guns and clothing. Now no one was there to run them. Women were hired to do jobs men used to do. Women lost a lot during the war. They lost friends, family, and their possessions. A lot of the time, troops from the other side invaded women's homes and took everything in sight. Women were left with nothing and fled to another part of the country. Some women lost all their children and their husbands. Their entire family was gone. They no longer felt hope. They no longer felt pride. They were devastated and wanted the war to end. Many women went to the battlefields and tried to save the injured. Army doctors did not appreciate women helping out, but if it hadn't been for the women, a lot more soldiers would have died. Women also formed aid societies that went to battlefields and tried to cure the soldiers. All this time, women were given the cold shoulder and not appreciated. They were not paid for the help. They volunteered. Women became spies and tried to get as much information about the other side's plans as they possibly could. Since men didn't pay much attention to women, it was easier for them to overhear a conversation. A lot of the time, either the South or the North won a battle because of the information they had already acquired from a spy. Some women disguised themselves as soldiers and fought in the war. At that time, men believed women were too weak to fight in a war. Some women got discovered, but some managed to keep their true gender a secret. When the war was over, men returned home. This caused conflicts between the husband and wife because of their responsibilities. For about 4 years, women had taken care of everything, and suddenly the freedom was taken away from them and they got to do nothing again. Women had changed over the course of the war. They wanted more of their lives. They wanted to do something important. Men did appreciate the work done by women during the Civil War, but they still took over the jobs that women had occupied during the war. Women believed that was not fair. Women didn't have the same rights and freedom as men, and that was going to change.